talk about the apocalypse and the second coming of Christ. If you're familiar at all with the book of Revelation, then you know what I'm talking about. That is some frightful imagery, and it's enough to have anyone quaking in their boots. Next, the whole idea of how he's going to ruin us. He already drowned us once before, and he promised us that the next time it's going to be fire. Also, Judgment Day. Because even though I was a born-again Christian, I engaged in plenty of sin, so things weren't looking too good for me. Which brings me to the concept of hell. Let's see, an all-loving God sending his children to a lake of fire and brimstone for all eternity. Enough said. Second thing that I'm missing now that I'm no longer a Christian is confusion. So many things in the Bible just don't make sense to me logically. Let's see. There's the creation account, Noah's Ark, the story of Job, Jonah in the belly of the whale, parting of the Red Sea, Sodom and Gomorrah, the virgin birth, the resurrection. List goes on and on. These stories all feel like mythology to me. And yet, whenever I would ask the question, what is the difference between the Holy Bible, which is considered truth, and the Iliad and Odyssey, which is considered myth, the answer was never sufficient for me. Then you've got the canonization of the Bible, where certain books were removed. You've got the multiple translations and modifications that were made to the Testaments. The entire concept of the Holy Trinity, which I now know is a man-made doctrine, and the conflicting accounts of the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. But 1 Corinthians 14:33 states, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace." Okay, third, guilt. As a Christian, I pretty much felt guilty all the time. I am a human being. Certain things are within my nature. Most of those things are a sin. Sometimes I felt like anything even remotely pleasurable is wrong. But since I still wanted to enjoy my life, I did those things anyway, copiously. And then I drowned in guilt afterwards. Another thing I felt guilty about was my obligation regarding church. God commanded me to regularly attend services, tithe 10% of my income, and use my time and talents all for His glory. So anytime I wasn't doing those things, it was just more for me to feel guilty about. But perhaps the one thing that was hardest to swallow was my duty to bring others to Christ. I wasn't worthy if I didn't spread the good news. I had a responsibility to convert other people. I'll tell you now, the number of people that I successfully converted to Christianity over my entire lifetime was distressingly low. And finally, superiority complex. Christians believe that of the 7 billion people on this planet and the 20 or so major world religions, that they are the only ones who have it right. How arrogant do you have to be to believe that? And furthermore, Christians are so convinced that they've got the truth on their side, they believe it gives them the right to condemn others for how they choose to live their lives, vehemently opposing things like homosexuality, premarital sex, abortion, stem cell research, religious tolerance. All of this does nothing but serve to divide us and hold us back. It's well past time for Christians to stop believing that they have the monopoly on morality. So, in retrospect, I'm really not missing anything at all. In fact, my life is infinitely more improved ever since I denounced Christianity. All those negative feelings are gone. I no longer have to deny logic to make sense of my beliefs. I'm happier now than I've ever been in my adult life, and I'm a better person overall. I feel 100% unchained and so free. Free to live my life how I see fit and just be me. But perhaps most importantly, I'm now also free to let you be you. Thanks for watching.